Hey all you, come watch me play, even though you're right there and I'm miles away. Hey Heather, I hope you had a great day. Now let's play, you're cool. Hello Heather, welcome to me doing a special episode of Overwatch. I just felt like talking about a bunch of things today, and felt like Overwatch was an appropriate game to just have going on in the background while I get some things off of, I won't say off of my chest, it's not that kind of weight, but just out there in the open. So, excuse me for the gameplay being poor, but I'm going to be concentrating on trying to remember all the things I want to talk about. Which, well, the intro, I want to tell you about a nightmare I had the other night. Oh, are we in the middle of a match? Oh, geez. Defending, okay. We need a tank. I will be Winston. Okay. Yeah, so I had a nightmare the other night where I was on a beach, but it's not like a Hawaii beach. Not like any one I had ever been on. Because there was the beach, you know, with the sand and really tall palm trees. Oof. Ouch. And then past that, there wasn't like any sort of island. It was just really tall cliffs with caves and stuff, but just a huge rock face that was impossible to climb or get past. Anyway, so I'm on this beach, and all I know is that there are birds up in the coconuts that are deadly. Why did that not jump? Okay. Well, and here we go. But there's a trick to them, and of course there always is in these sort of horror scenarios, but that they would kill you if you look at them. The second you see one of them, it's too late for you. So I and the people I was with had to look down on the ground.
This will protect us.
Darn it, I missed. And try to avert our eyes from up in the coconut trees where they were hiding. And so we're trying to, you know, leave and get out of there, but it's tricky having to not really look where we're going in order to avoid being snatched away by these freaking vulture things that are scary as fuck. And so at one point near the end, I had my eyes closed. There they are. That was not very effective.
This will protect us.
I have my eyes closed in the nightmare, and at one point I feel like we knew we were safe. We had gotten past. I was supposed to be able to open my eyes, and I just couldn't. I couldn't open my eyes. It was like scaring me that like I was so afraid of opening my eyes, even when all logic said I could open them now. And then when I finally did open my eyes, I was awake. I was like, what the hell? Oh, okay. It was very weird and scary nightmare, not a fun one. And then the next night, I had another nightmare that Donald Trump won the election. But it was not a nightmare. And here I am, awake today, the morning after, the day after, and it's still a thing.
This will protect us.
So that's kind of what I want to talk about, is our country right now, democracy, and this election result. So, I think the scariest thing about this whole ordeal for me, a liberal Democrat who was very pro-Bernie, and then not thrilled, but still pro-Hillary. The scariest thing is that this result is from democracy functioning as it's supposed to. And, I mean, well, democracy through an electoral college, which is debatable about whether that should really be the state of things, but it is the state of things for now, so.
Justice reigns from above.
Even though Hillary won the popular vote, so whether it's really the best democracy, it's the democracy we have right now, and it's functioning. It wasn't rigged, that's just how things went down. So I see people posting, you know, that scene from the Star Wars prequels about this is how liberty dies, and thunderous applause. Sure, there's, you know, thunderous applause about something that maybe you're not thrilled about, but you still have, for now, all the liberties that you had yesterday. And I don't think it's helping anything to be overly dramatic like that. Because although that's the scary thing, it's also the good news, you know? Democracy is still functioning, and you have just as much a chance of making a difference today as you did yesterday. And that is good news, for sure. Darn, I thought I got that off. And so I really think that there's all this talk now about, you know, states seceding from the Union or people moving out of the country because of this, and I think those people, although it's surely tempting, and believe me, I have checked immigration websites about certain things, I also believe that it's our duty as Americans to continue championing the values that we voted for, and that means both sides. Our country needs everybody, all of us, and whether you're somebody who voted for Hillary and you want to make sure that all of the things that you're afraid of happening under a Donald Trump presidency, or whether you're someone who voted for Donald Trump and you want to make sure that, you know, like you're, say, some sort of middle-class American and you really want this sort of anti-establishment thing to happen. You want, you know, you want to be heard, and you want a government that supports you. You also should. No, I don't want to play. We've got a healer, we've got a tank. I'll be. Alright.
I will protect the innocent.
Peace be upon you.
I think, yeah, it needs everybody to still be working for what they believe is right, and to hold Donald accountable for, you know, not doing any of the bad things that he might want to do, and trying to make sure that he does give the good things that, you know, some people were rooting for. And I think it's important for everybody to do that, and to continue having and to continue believing in the democracy, regardless of, because when we let fear control us and everything, that's just, in the words of Yoda, gonna lead to more hate and more suffering, which is what we're afraid of in the first place. Because as terrible as this election cycle has been, and as scary as a lot of the rhetoric has been, I do not believe that it's as black and white as some people want to make it out to be. Pardon the... Darn it. You know, it's filled with not just shades of gray, but shades of every color there is. And as much as we look at a map and we see red and blue, that's not what our country is. And it's not what our country should be. But I mean, again, that's getting into the failures of a two-party system. I'm gonna go around this next time. You know, so it's important to, like I talked to a friend of mine last night who I was surprised to find out through Facebook, damn it, voted for Trump, and I asked him about why he did that.
No one can hide.
Damn it, damn it, damn it. Oh my god. I am the worst Sparta ever. Can't wait for the buff to give her more jetpack power. Okay. Let's switch to Diva. Then I know I can make it over. So I asked him, like, why did you do this? And I sort of explained all the reasons why I chose my candidate, and he basically explained that he just had a difference of opinion about who the lesser of two evils was. And I couldn't understand his point of view. I disagreed entirely, but he felt very strongly. He of course, didn't believe any of the racist or xenophobic or sexist things that Donald has been going on with, but basically he thought that Hillary as president would be more damaging for the country than Donald. And with that difference of opinion, I don't know. We both just went to bed having heard each other a little more. Get owned. I don't know if I've ever heard Diva say that line before. Yeah, I guess what I'm getting at is it's important as people who are for Hillary and against a lot of the things that the Trump campaign has stood for so far. It's important for us to see Donald supporters not as a KKK organization that takes up half of the country's population, but instead make sure that, you know, we're seeing them as people who aren't just cardboard cutouts of Donald Trump, agreeing with everything he says.
Boosters engaged.
disappointing. Damn. Oh, I did pretty well though. They're not mindless followers of everything he's ever said. They're individual people, and it's important not to dismiss them for certain ideas. And it's important to try to come together as a country and make sure that what is important to us is still being championed. Because I think it's easy to view the whole thing as a war, as a battle, as good versus evil. But that's not the truth. And I think that looking at the current state of things through that kind of lens is not going to be helpful in the short run or the long run. And that's part of the reason I'm playing Overwatch, is because I think it's really cool that there are 23 heroes announced, and even though there's characters sort of on all different sides of the conflicts that exist in this world that Blizzard has created, there isn't a red team and blue team, except how we decide and we play them. You know? Like, they could have had one row of Reaper, Widowmaker, Sombra, whoever enemies they want to put in there. And then another row for like Soldier, Reinhardt, you know, all these things. But they made sure to design these characters to be more complicated than that. There are no good characters, no evil characters. There are characters who disagree with each other and who have different stances on a lot of things. But they're all trying to create a world that they believe in.
Attackers incoming in 30 seconds.
I grow tired of waiting.
And so I really appreciate that from a game developer. And I think it's really fun to play out. Another thing I think they did kind of well in Overwatch is, like, there aren't many issues since it's a video game world, but the way they sort of handle race. Oh, damn it. Didn't see the Ana. The way they sort of handle race in Overwatch is that all these characters from all these countries don't really talk about race as we know it, but there is an Omnic crisis where there was a robot uprising, and that was the big, you know, breaking point of the world, and now some people are racist against robots and other people are welcoming of them. Damn it. And through creating a sort of other race, they're able to talk about these issues without, I suppose, making a real statement, you know, or getting too controversial.
They are taking the objective. Stop them.
Objective lost. Stop the payload.
Time to head back this way. And so,
I've got you in my sights.
Like,
Get out of my way.
it's kind of interesting to think about how, like, I don't know, the Omnic Crisis in general and the resulting stuff, I think is just a cool story point. Like, as much as it is a analogy for racism and prejudice and bigotry, I think that it's helpful to sort of think about a robot uprising, since that's not really something a lot of us can picture or imagine all that well. Think of it through another analogy, which is dogs. Like, imagine, because lots of people have pet dogs, right? Dogs are in a lot of people's lives. Damn it.
Hello. Did I come up?
I'm not good with Bastion. Okay. Like, imagine if one day there is a deadly virus that all dogs catch that causes them to rebel and be hostile towards all humans. And there's a terrible epidemic of just humans fighting for survival against all these dogs or whatever. You know, like, before there were most dogs were good, there were a couple bad dogs, but they,
The hunter lays a trap for his prey.
anyway, so then the dogs rebel, and then one day it's just over, and the remaining dogs are, say, carriers of the disease, where they could potentially at one point start attacking people again, just like they did, or they could not. And that sort of ambiguity and fear and potential for both great good and great evil, I think, is a theme prevalent in a lot of xenophobia, and they sort of get at that with the fear and prejudice in Overwatch about the Omnics. Like, a lot of these characters lost family members or limbs even, and definitely homes to this crisis. And their fear is somewhat justified, but only parts of fear, you know? And definitely never hate. You know? Hate. Damn it. Die. Damn it. Almost killed both of them. Hate is never the answer. Even if hate is the question, so to speak. You know? And that's my belief, that's what I was raised, that, you know, love, compassion, empathy, understanding, respect are far more important. That it is always the better choice to attempt to build a bridge than to burn one. Gotcha. And I guess how they're just try to keep that in mind in this scary time. Potentially scary. I don't want to be over dramatic, as it's kind of a wild card how things will actually turn out. Damn it. We have no idea if Trump is going to attempt to do any of the things he said he would. What sort of things are going to happen under his presidency. But it's just important that we all stay involved in the political process, that we do our best to fight for what we believe in, and that you don't view your fellow Americans as the enemies, but that you always do your best to treat others with love, compassion, respect, and, you know, if some, even, you know, the racists and the bigots and the misogynists, what they need more than punishment or judgment is help. They need education. They need our help. And so that's the point of this episode, I guess. It's just to remind you, Heather, that the world could always use more heroes. Okay. That's everything I wanted to say. Sorry for the long episode. I'll probably just air this bonus so that it's not too outdated and won't interrupt your regularly scheduled programming. Oh shoot, didn't mean to do that this early.
I've got you in my sight.
Die, 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 die! Damn it! Oh, well, at least I chased them away a little bit.
60 seconds remaining.
I've got you in my
Anyway,
sight.
I'll just finish this match. How are you doing? No, 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 no! Oh, I tried to hide and then throw myself back up, but did not work as intended. Oh, and here it goes. Alright. Well,
Play of the game.
good night, Heather. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe, or else I just might die.